So it will probably be like a very quick video. Hi everyone, welcome to the last video of my classroom tour. So in this video, I'm going to show you my toy area and a couple of things around the classroom that I have, like my bulletin boards and stuff like that. As you all know by now, and if you haven't watched the previous videos, go do that right now. I filmed all of this footage at the end of the summer program this past school year, so my classroom was not looking like in tip-top shape at all. But I figured I might as well show you what it looks like at the end of the year, just to show you the realities of teacher life. I am currently setting up my classroom for this upcoming school year, 2019-2020, and I am trying to get some pictures and things here and there of how I have been setting up. For the most part, it is the same setup as what you have seen so far. So it will probably be like a very quick video once I finish it this week, and it should be up by next week. Alright, so without much further ado, here is the last part of my classroom tour. And then last but not least, it's my toy area. And my toy area has all my little manipulatives, puzzles, any sort of math related thing. It's here. This is also where I house my stews. In case you don't recognize this, these are my stews. We're doing the ocean stew right now for our ocean theme, but I have used a lot of stews throughout the year and the kids really like it, so recommend. I got them. These trays came with my room, and I think they got them from Lakeshore, but I have seen them at Dollar Tree as well. And these bowls are from IKEA, I believe. No, maybe they're Dollar Tree. Yeah, they might be Dollar Tree as well, if you want to get that. And this, I don't know if you follow me on Instagram or not, but I have mentioned that this was the only area that I never relabeled per se. I did most of the relabeling for everything else except for my toy area. I just never got to it last summer. Which I might get to this summer, but it kind of worked out a little bit because Eckers does need us to have different types of labels, so they can have, you know, the regular picture tour label, but they also want to see like some object labels just like that. So you take the object and place it right on top, and they also want to see kid made labels, so anything the child made as a label. So because I didn't relabel everything, I had some of the students add their own labels, so put like the little dinosaur here. They took it out already, but you get what I mean. I might redo some of them, especially on both sides, just because it's a little hard for my little ones to understand. Okay, you have to turn it and then stick it in so that we know and we can see the label. Might have to practice that more with my students beginning of next year and see how they do. For the most part, they did okay last year, but we'll see. I have some bingo games, more manipulatives, more lacing and fine motor stuff, puzzles, and then I have this big this book bin here too with like the writing utensils. I try to get this sort of set up in every area so that each area they have the option to write or draw or read about whatever it is that they're doing. But honestly, I'll be honest with you 100%, they rarely use this, like rarely use this specific book and writing thing in the toy area. They were more into actually using the materials than reading or writing about it. So it's there just in case. I might add like some more papers next time instead of just the books, so they can actually write down maybe what they did, or I don't know. But wasn't really used last year, so I don't know. They did use the book and the writing utensils in the block area. They did use it in the house area. They have definitely used it in the discovery area and in the writing area, but not here in the toy area. And then up here is my big toys. That's what I call them, the big bins of toys, where I have like my Legos and my counting people, some big letter puzzles that they can take on the little rug over there, unless somebody is in the music area and they can't. Sometimes I do let them take it here in the morning for morning work, but if they do use this one, they usually put it just on the table and everybody works together to make a big blanket of letters. Again, I'm probably gonna have to relabel front and back because sometimes it's hard for them to really like take that extra thinking step. to rotate the bench so that the picture is facing the front. So that'll make them more successful next year if I do both. And then up here, please don't judge. This is my craft space. This is where I put anything extra, any sort of small group activity that I have to set up, I'll set up here. My bag usually doesn't go up here. I have a little locker for my stuff, but for the summer program, it was just easier for me, I guess. So you usually won't see all this up here. It'll be my small group setup and our journals and planning books over here, and I'll show you that in a second. And then down here is my planning board that I made last year using the same pictures that I used for each area, and they would put their clothespin on the area that they wanted to work in. I'm going to change it. If I'm changing the area signs, I'm definitely changing the planning board, and I'm also not adding the dots. That's another fun thing about high scope is you can't limit the amount of students in your areas. So I can't have like only 4 people in this area, only 4 people. I can't. They want us to use problem solving as much as we can with the students, so that becomes another time where we can use it. If there's 6 kids in that little music area, okay, let's think about this for a second and let's figure out a way that we can safely work together in that area. And will it be taking turns? Will it be getting a sand timer? Will it be thinking of somewhere else to go? Will it be maybe, I don't know. I help them out and we come up with a solution. So that's sort of like the way high school thinks about the areas, and we don't want to limit the kids' choice or thought process or imagination or planning just because we have to adhere to somebody else's rule. So I will probably be making another planning board this summer without the dots and with the pictures changed. And the toy area is also where I put like my numbers and shapes so they can kind of refer to them if they need to. And I did use these this year. I might be having them help me make these in the beginning of the school year next year so that it will be more child made and they can identify with these charts a little better. I did do that on the art area. I don't know if you can see the bulletin board up there. We put colors up there and I had the students make like a red collage poster and a green collage poster. And every week we did one and we'll put it right up there. And they did refer to it because it was made by them, even though it was a little bit higher. So I might do the same thing with my shapes and numbers next year. And lastly, the last part I'm going to show you is as they walk in, I have my parent board up here and I have like our perfect attendance chart here. We had 6 weeks of full perfect attendance since January until June last year, so that's what those little pictures are. I have my family pictures, my family's here. I'm gonna have to redo the letters soon, and the tree, I'm gonna have to change it into a new tree because we're gonna have a new set of kids. But this is where I'll put our family pictures around. I give them a little brown paper where they can put their picture and decorate around as part of their like first homework project that they have to do. I have students put their fingerprints right before back to school night, and I put their names by their fingerprints, and then during back to school night the parents come and find their kids' fingerprints and put their fingerprints there to kind of fill up our family tree, and that's that. I also started like this password thing last January where I have the students come up here before they come in. They have to put their hand there and just buzz themselves in by saying either the number, the shape, the letter, the color, whatever I have there. And so they'll buzz their name in, or they'll put their hand, say the password, and they can come in their room. I definitely have to explain this to the parents so that they help their kids every day, and sometimes I have like a whole line behind my door to do that. But it gets them excited to come in the classroom, and they have told me several times, Ms. Andres, you forgot to change it. They remind me how to do my job. Outside of my classroom, I have 2 boards. This is the smaller one where I put a collage of pictures that I take during 1 month, and I'll make a collage, a page collage, and then just stick it up there so the parents can come and see what we've been doing for the month of September, October, November, all the way through June. And then at the end of the year, I kind of make a little yearbook that they can take home with all those pictures. My other bulletin board is the bigger one, and this is where I put all my unit related stuff. For us, we can't just put like one cute quote and like some cute pictures that they look uniform or whatever. We have to put everything the students are doing related to the unit of study as it happens. So if we talk about recycling and we're talking about what is trash and what is not, then I'll put like some action shots of them doing that, and then the standards next to them, and then the next week we'll talk about what is reusing instead of recycling, and that's another like a few action pictures or maybe some work that they've done, some artwork that they've done during that week, and I'll put it up there with the standards and so on and so forth. So it fills up as we go through the unit. So that's what this bulletin board is about. The other boards that I have in my classroom are these 3 boards over here. These first 2 I usually put any sort of small group activity that we've done that is like math or ELA related. I think my administration though wants it to be more child related work, so it might not look as cookie cutter sort of activities. It will definitely be more child directed activities that go up there now. And then that third one is usually where I put any of their writing work. So anything that they make during work time, anything that they've written about, anything that they've done on their own, even if it's just a little scribble at the beginning of the year, even if it's just little random letters or little letter likes, that goes up there as their writing samples. Super fast before I forget, these are my journals. Again, log out of preschool, and the planning books that I made for my students, because for high school we have to do plan do review, which means that before they go to their areas they plan where they're going to work, then they do, which is the work when they work in there, and then after that we have recall time where we review what they did, what worked, what didn't work, how, if they changed their plan, why they changed their plan, and all that good stuff. So usually in January I'll have my older students, everybody essentially, do plan and recall book. So for planning time I'll have them make a plan on the top. This is like a 4-year-old one or a 5-year-old one where I'll have them write down the area, and I'll give them like a whole map of the areas and a letter graph in case they need to look at them, and they can write down where they worked, and then at the end I have them draw where they work as their recall time. For the younger ones I have just 2 big squares so they can draw where they want to work and then draw where they worked for recall time. Same thing, everybody does get the pictures and a letter chart if they want to. Sometimes they'll start labeling and stuff like that, so this is more of a authentic way to assess their writing too, because we don't do this every day, like this type of plan and recall, but I'll do it maybe like 2-3 times a week, especially after January, so I can see where they are within the writing continuum. I don't mind if they do like letter-like forms instead of like the actual word or the actual, because if I haven't taught them proper letter formation, I shouldn't expect that of them. So if they just do little scribbles here too, that's fine with me. Pictures with the little ones, I start with like scribbles obviously, and then more shapes, lines, so that they can represent their ideas into drawings better. And then journals, do I have it filled out? No. I'll do maybe twice a week in the mornings as like their morning work. I'll set it up in a toy area and they can literally write about whatever it is that they want to write. Usually on Mondays they'll write about what they did over the weekend, or if they saw a movie or a show or something that they're really excited about, I'll let them draw and write about anything and everything, and I'm there with them to show them that I do care about their writing. It is not about just letter formation or knowing their letters and numbers or whatever. It's more about getting them excited about writing. And for the little ones, I am going to try to provide them with like a smaller, chubbier sort of writing tools for them to start practicing their grip. But honestly, at this point, I want them to get that idea that, writing has meaning. We use writing to communicate and to talk about what we want to talk about and to share with others what we want to share with them. So that's how I do journals. So yeah, these things are usually on top of my discovery area shelf, next to my like setup for small group. And as you can tell, like I have a little like crap bin over here with extra stuff from like random small groups and things. So yeah. And that is my classroom, y'all. So like I said before, I'm pretty much keeping the same setup for this upcoming school year. I'm changing a couple things here and there that I will be posting about in the next video. But the way the room actually looks in the areas and all that, it's staying the same. So my goal for this school year is to make one video a month instead of vlogging every day and doing like a once every week vlog kind of video. It's just simply because it takes a lot of time to do that and I don't have it right now. As a teacher, I didn't have it last year. I thought I could, but it's just not happening with the amount of stuff that we have to do in the public school system and everything that just happens like from September all the way to May. It's just non-stop work. So last year, like midway through the year, I just decided to stop because teaching is my priority and I need to keep that first and foremost. Everything else just kind of had to fall in the background. But I do have a better system. I kind of know what I'm doing now. I am in the same classroom. I am with the same curriculum. I'm pretty much set up a little bit better than I was last year. So I should have a little bit more time to be able to do at least one video a month. And some of it might be vlog related, like might be things that I'm doing in the classroom, lesson plans, unit plans, games, all that stuff. Some of it might be answering questions that I know I've gotten and I told people I would answer them and I never really got to, like how do I unit plan, how do I lesson plan and all that stuff. So those types of videos are coming up. I promise it will be just once a month for this next school year. So if you liked the video and you'd like to keep following me this next school year, please don't forget to click subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I post a new video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!